What's going on, guys? Nathan here. Today I'm going to teach you the top 10 easy poker strategies that every beginner to the game of poker should know. You're going to get to learn from my 10 plus years as a professional poker player. You can literally take these 10 easy strategies to the poker tables right after you're done watching this video and start getting much better results for yourself. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. Counting down from 10 to 1, here we go. So let's start off by talking about what hands you need to be playing. So number 10, pocket pairs. So guys, you've probably encountered these before if you've played any amount of poker. Pocket pairs are pocket aces, pocket kings, pocket queens, all the way down to pocket twos. Basically any two cards that share the exact same rank. So pocket aces and pocket kings, guys, are going to represent 50% of all of your winnings in the game of poker. And this is why the majority of your profits overall in the game of poker will come from these pocket pairs. That's why I'm starting the video off with these, because in addition to pocket aces and pocket kings, all of the rest of the hands, queens all the way down to pocket twos, are also huge winners. And the biggest reason why is because you can hit a set on the flop, which is also called three of a kind. Let me give you an example. You've got pocket sixes, 6 of hearts and 6 of diamonds. Flop comes down with the ace of diamonds, 6 of spades, and 3 of hearts. If somebody else has a hand like ace king or ace queen on this board, you are going to be around 91-92% chance to win the hand. We don't need to be a math genius to realize that those are really, really good odds for us. So guys, do not sleep on pocket pairs. You want to play these hands in all situations, and the very best pocket pairs like pocket aces, pocket kings, pocket queens, and pocket jacks, you want to often be raising and re-raising with these hands before the flop, because these hands are good enough on their own, unimproved, to win massive pots. Let's move on to number 9 here. Now let's talk about strong aces. So these are hands like ace king, ace queen, and ace jack. Guys, these hands are also going to be among your biggest winners in the game of poker. So let me give an example. You raise it up pre-flop with ace of spades, queen of diamonds, and the flop comes down with the queen of hearts, 8 of spades, and 4 of diamonds. So guys, if they have a hand like king, queen, you are going to win a massive pot here. You are 75%, 80% to win in this situation. And the reason why is because you have the better kicker here. Remember guys, in poker, we are looking for the best 5-card hand. And when you share top pair with another player, the deciding factor is often going to be the other card in your hand. Since we have the ace here and they have the king, we are in very, very good shape to win this hand. So guys, with your strong aces, you always want to raise pre-flop. We're going to talk about that more coming up in the video, by the way, how much to raise and all that good stuff. But you also want to be re-raising with your strong aces most of the time. Let's move on to tip number 8. And now let's talk about Broadways, guys. So these are hands like king, queen, king, jack, and queen, jack. Now guys, I call these hands the Swiss Army knife of hands because they can be played in nearly all situations. These hands can make excellent top pair, they can make a good straight, and so on. So let me give you an example. Once again, you call pre-flop with queen of diamonds, jack of hearts, and the flop comes down with the 9 of clubs, 8 of spades, and 10 of diamonds. Guys, this is a dream situation. We have flopped the straight here. If they have a lower straight with a hand like 7-6, for example, or they have an overpair with a hand like pocket kings, you are going to get all of their chips here. You're going to win a massive pot. Now, granted, people are going to say, but Nathan, I don't flop straight every single hand. And well, actually, neither do I. But the beautiful thing about these hands, guys, is even if you just hit top pair, for example, if it comes with a jack 3-5 or a queen 6-3, you can also often expect to have the best hand with these Broadway hands like a queen jack or a king jack in a situation like this. So you want to play Broadways in most situations. All right, guys, moving on to number 7 here. Let's talk about suited connectors now. So suited connectors are hands like jack 10 of hearts, 10-9 of diamonds, 9-8 of spades, 8-7 of clubs. The suits don't specifically matter. It could be an 8-7 of hearts and 8-7 of diamonds. You guys get the idea. Guys, these hands can make straights, flushes, hidden trips, all sorts of good stuff. Let me give you an example. Once again, you call pre-flop with the 10-9 of diamonds and the flop comes with the jack of hearts, 8 of spades, and 3 of diamonds. They bet you call, turn comes down with the 7 of spades. Guys, this is literally the best card in the deck for us. We have made the straight 7, 8, 9, 10 jack on this board. And once again, if they have a big hand like an ace jack, for example, for top pair, or an overpair like pocket queens, you're going to win a big pot. So guys, suited connectors are extremely important, especially in no limit hold'em, because this is a game where you can bet any amount of your chips at any time. So guys, do not sleep on suited connectors. These are very, very important hands as well. All right, let's move on to number 6, the final category of hands, and that is suited aces. So guys, this is any hands like ace 7 of hearts, ace 6 of diamonds, ace 5 of spades, ace 4 of clubs. Guys, these are also excellent hands because they can make a strong top pair, the highest top pair, because we have the ace in our hand, and they can also make the nut flush, and that is extremely important. For example, you raise pre-flop with an ace 6 of diamonds, flop comes down with the king of diamonds, 8 of spades, and 3 of diamonds. They bet, you call, turn comes down with the 4 of diamonds. We have nailed our flush on the turn here, and the most important point, guys, is that we have the best flush possible. So for example, if they had an 8 and a 7 also of diamonds, we beat that hand. In fact, we have that hand drawing completely dead, meaning that they have 0% chance to win because we have the higher flush with the ace high flush. But they could also have a hand like king queen, for example, for top pair, and you can win a big pot there as well. All right, guys, moving on to beginner strategy number 5 here, and that is to abuse the button. So guys, I'm going to put the image up on your screen right now of the seats at the poker table, and what you need to know is that the button, which is the seat with the dealer chip in front of it, is the most profitable seat at the poker table, and the cutoff, which is directly to the right of the button, is the second most profitable seat at the poker table. Why, you might be asking? The reason why is because you get to act last on the flop, turn, and river, which is a massively proven statistical advantage because you get to see what they do first. Therefore, you can get more bets in, you can raise, and you can even fold your hand if you believe them and you think they're beat. So what does all this mean? Well, guys, this means that you want to play more hands from these seats, specifically the button. So in addition to all the hands that we already talked about, I'm going to be playing all sorts of suited hands. For example, like a 10-8 of hearts, a king 9 of diamonds, a queen 10 offsuit, and offsuit means there's 2 different suits, ace 4 offsuit, a 7-9 of spades, a 4-6 of clubs, a jack 8 of diamonds. Guys, I could go on and on. Bottom line is you want to widen your range on the button, especially when it's folded to you, because you can just raise it up and try to steal the blinds in a situation like that. And the beautiful part is that even if you get called, again, you're going to have position on the flop, turn, and river, which is going to help you tremendously in winning the hand. So raise a ton. All right, guys, let's move on to beginner strategy number 4, and that is to raise 3x plus 1 for each limper. All right, guys, so let me break this down for you. This is not algebra. This is not super complex math here. The 3x in this situation refers to the big blind in poker. So for example, you're playing in a $1, $2 cash game. The $2 is the big blind and the X is the big blind, as mentioned. So you want to raise it 3 times the big blind, to which would be $6 in a $1, $2 game. And the other thing, guys, is you want to add 1 additional big blind per limper, and a limper is somebody who just limps into the pot pre-flop. The reason you want to do this, guys, is because you want to ideally aim for 1 caller when you raise pre-flop. I should mention you should always raise pre-flop when you enter the hand. I'm not going to cover that in today's video, but I've talked about that in many other previous videos here on the channel. But guys, the reason why you want to raise it 3 times the blind plus 1 for each limper, so in a situation like this, we have pocket aces, I would raise it up to 6 times the big blind here, which would be $12 in a $1, $2 cash game. The reason you want to do this, guys, is because you don't want to raise it 3 times the blind like everyone else and get 3 callers, because as you can see on your screen here, pocket aces is literally a statistical underdog if you allow the whole table into the hand. So guys, follow these simple guidelines in order to raise it up to a decent amount that's ideally going to get you 1 caller. Let's move on to beginner poker tip number 3, and that is to turn your top pair into a bluff catcher. So guys, one of the biggest questions that a lot of my students specifically ask me about is how do you play top pair, especially against one of these aggressive players who is always trying to bluff you, is always betting, you never know what they have. And this goes for middle pair as well, as we're going to discuss in the example hand here. And guys, the bottom line is you want to let them do the bluffing. You just want to let them hang themselves, as the old saying goes. So for example, if I've got a hand like ace jack and I flop middle pair top kicker on the flop of king jack 6, usually I'm going to check it to them and just allow them to bluff at it with a hand like 9-10 here. And often I find this is the best way to play against aggressive aggressive poker players in particular. Now, I do want to be clear that versus passive players and recreational players, I'm going to do the exact opposite here. I'm going to do the betting because when I check, I don't expect them to bet. But versus aggressive poker players in particular, this is a good strategy to get the maximum value out of hands like middle pair or top pair. All right, guys, moving on to number 2, let's give you a basic quick math lesson now. Basic pot odds, you need to know this stuff. All right, guys, so in a nutshell, the reason you need to understand pot odds is because this is really important, especially when you're chasing a draw, like a flush draw or a straight draw, for example. And the basic rule of thumb that you can take from this video is that if they bet half pot or less, you can call profitably from a mathematical point of view. So for example, the pot's $10, they bet $5, you can call. Now let me give you the basic math here, guys. Pot odds equals pot size divided by the price of the call. Now guys, a lot of people get this mixed up, so let me give you a simple example here. Let's raise the stakes a little bit. There's $100 in the pot, they bet $50. Now a lot of people get mixed up with the basic math here. It is $100 plus $50, which equals $150, divided by 50. For all you math majors out there, 3-to-1. So guys, when we are getting 3-to-1 or better on the pot, this is a spot where we can call profitably with our flush draw or straight draw. However, if they were to bet full pot in this situation, say they bet $100, this would be giving you 2-to-1 on the pot instead. And typically in a spot like that, it is better to fold your hand because you are not getting the correct odds to chase your draw. All right, guys, the number 1 beginner poker strategy you need to know is the importance of hand reading. This is something that truly skyrocketed my results once I learned this simple trick. So you've got 2 red aces and you get raised on the river of 3 of spades, 6 of diamonds, 7 of hearts, 8 of clubs, and 10 of spades. Guys, versus a tight player in particular, let me tell you that this is literally always a set. It's a hand like pocket 3s, pocket 6s, pocket 7s, pocket 8s, or pocket 10s for 3 of a kind. Guys, tight players in today's games, they don't mess around on the river here. That is something that aggressive maniac recreational poker players do, but the regular tight players, which is the majority of players that you're going to encounter in your games, when they raise you big here on the river, guys, they have it. They have a hand like 2 pair, 3 of a kind, a straight, a set, a flush, something like that that beats you. But sometimes my students also ask me, they say, but Nathan, what if they have pocket aces, pocket kings, pocket queens here? Could they possibly be raising with one of those hands? No, guys, typically they're not, for the simple reason that they would have re-raised you earlier in the hand. So guys, take it from my 10+ years as a professional in this game. When you have a hand like pocket aces here and they raise you on the river, especially a tight player, save yourself some money, fold your hands now because you know that they have you beat. All right, guys, like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. And if you want to know my entire strategy to beat the small and mid stakes games, make sure you grab a copy of my free poker cheat sheet. That will be the top link in the description below. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I will catch you next time.